Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for Lucha Underground Season 1, Episode 13, and this episode is called Johnny Mundo versus the Machine. And, we had Matt Stryker and Vampiro on commentary for this show, and this episode started off with a match between El Helico versus Son of Havoc with Eva Lise ringside, and Eva Lise gets on the mic and is upset that she's been bombarded with tweets that Son of Havoc is a loser, but she says that he's not a loser because she doesn't date losers. And then we had the match, and overall I thought this was a good match. I thought they both worked really well together. Son of Havoc was pretty over in this match too. I noticed Lucha Underground now. I noticed it more in this episode that usually I think they do something to the crowd where they make the heels get booed and the faces get cheered. But in this show, it was completely different. They actually made the crowd feel like it was more authentic, which I liked because it makes it feel like it's more of like a lively type of show. But yeah, eventually the finish comes when Son of Havoc has the advantage, but instead he wants to kiss his girlfriend, Eva Lise. But then, and Helico tries to hit a roll-up on him, but then Son of Havoc reverses into one of his own, and then Helico kicks out. Son of Havoc inadvertently knocks Eva Lise off the apron, and Helico rolls up Son of Havoc for the win. So then Helico got the win, which I was fine with, and I like the match. I give it 3 stars, and it gets an up, and then afterwards, Son of Havoc and Eva Lise argue. And then backstage, Dario Cueto's with Johnny Mundo, and this is the first time we've seen Johnny Mundo since Aztec Warfare, and Johnny Mundo, Dario Cueto wants to have more of a working relationship with Johnny Mundo now since it's been a few weeks since he's been gone, and Johnny Mundo wants to be in a match tonight, so Dario Cueto puts him in a match against Cage. Good segment, gets an up. And then we had the next match. It was Famous B versus Pentagon Jr. Before the match, we had a vignette with Pentagon Jr. where we talked about how he's studying for martial arts and he has a lot of respect for that, and he uses that to kind of hurt his opponents and to utilize it as his teachings. I thought that was a very good vignette. And this match I thought was a nice 2-star match just to kind of really put over. I might give it 2 1/4 because it really did a good job of putting over Pentagon Jr. as a monster. He pretty much just hits the package pile driver on Famous B, and then he gets him into like a version of the Riddles of Saturn, and now Famous B ends up tapping out, and then afterwards Pentagon Jr., before he releases his shoulder, he ends up breaking the shoulder of Famous B. I love this, and then afterwards he talks about how now he gets on the mic and tells his master, who we don't know who it is yet, how he wants to take the next step in being a fighter. So I love this segment. Gets it up. And then Dario Cueto's backstage, and you see him at the prison talking to Manzana. I don't know if that's how you say that. Who's off camera, and he talks about how he's thrilled that the temple's spreading all over the world, but he's ashamed he can't share it with Mantasna, and he warns Mantasna that there's a mystery woman that's been looking for him, and we find out that mystery woman's name is Black Lotus, and he talks. Dario Cueto says that she's not as young as she once was, and eventually says that he cannot let her get revenge. Well, he cannot give her this tea to let her get revenge in order to protect the temple. I thought this was a good backstage segment. It's leading to a lot of plot devices, so it gets an up. And then we had the next match. It was Drago versus Ariel Star. I thought this was a really good match here. I don't know if it was my favorite match of the night, but it was definitely one of my favorites. I like the dives they hit and stuff. Ariel Star hit a springboard double stomp to the back on Drago. He ended up hitting a really cool dive on the outside. Drago hit a super kick, a hurricane on a face buster. But eventually he wins with a blockbuster DDT. And then afterwards, Drago helps Ariel Star back to his feet, and they shake hands in respect. So overall, I really like this match. I'll give it 3.5 stars. Gets an up. And then I believe we had the main. And then next, Phoenix is backstage training. Katrina comes up to him and tries to ask if the tattoo on one of it on the right side of his chest really protects him from nightmares. And Phoenix doesn't give an answer. And then Katrina says that she has a message, but it's not from Mil Muertes, it's from me. And she kisses him and tells him to keep this a secret and keep it between you and me, or else Mil Muertes will have us both to death. So this is going to be an interesting part of the storyline. I'm going to give this an up. Then we had the main event. It was Johnny Mundo versus Cage. I thought this was a really good main event. Johnny Mundo dominates the first half of it with a lot of his high-flying arsenal. Eventually, Cage dominates with his power moves, really getting the heat on Johnny Mundo. And during the match, we see that King Quano is watching like he's a hunter, which I really like that they play up on the hunting gimmick. And Johnny Mundo finally starts to make his comeback, and then the match really starts to kind of go back and forth. Johnny Mundo eventually hits a springboard knee, and then he hits a flying TFO on the outside. But then King Quano attacks Johnny Mundo, beats the crap out of him, and he ends up ramming his leg against the post, and then he grabs a steel chair and hits Johnny Mundo's leg while it's against the steel post. And Cage just leaves. I forgot to mention too, Cage actually came out tonight on this show with the broken Lucha Underground Championship. So I actually love that he did that. And afterwards, Dario Cueto comes out of his office and says that Johnny Mundo's 5-star matches are what draws the ratings for Lucha Underground. So he wants the match. He wants to restart the match. And obviously, this kind of shows that Dario Cueto still hates Johnny Mundo because this was after Johnny Mundo was all injured and everything. And the match continues for about another 5 more minutes. Cage pretty much annihilates Johnny Mundo and really works over the injured leg. He gets him into a inadvertent heel hook. But then eventually Johnny Mundo is able to hit the Moonlight Drive. Cage kicks out and then he goes for the end of the world. But Cage is able to counter it, and then he eventually hits a goalie special into a flatliner for the win, and Cage ends up going over, and that was pretty much. And then afterwards, the show goes off the air when Dario Cueto's on the phone with somebody, pretty much about the Black Loudest, and then and trying to figure out what they're going to do to get her away, and somebody knocks on his door. Dario Cueto gets off the phone, and we see that it's none other than Alberto El Patron. And he uses his own catchphrase that he used in WWE that says, but you already knew that. Because this obviously came shortly after Alberto El Patron was fired from WWE the first time after that whole racist issue that happened backstage. So he turned out none other than Lucha Underground. So this was obviously a huge deal since it was a former multi-time world champion in WWE and stuff. So obviously that's just definitely going to be the hugest up because Alberto El Patron probably is the biggest star that Lucha Underground has had from this point. So it was awesome. But overall, I enjoyed this episode of Lucha Underground. I thought it was actually a great show. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I actually really enjoy watching the Lucha Underground stuff. If you've never watched it, definitely watch it. I feel like I've definitely missed out. So that's pretty much my review of Lucha Underground. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM brothers and on the Talking Data YouTube channels. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.